I'm worried. I'm worried where social media and AI are heading and what that means for us, for our lives, for our society. And don't get me wrong, I love tech. I always have. Gadgets, platforms, experiments. I built my first websites as a teenager and promoted my band on MySpace, Facebook, Instagram, Vine, rest in peace, Twitter, X. Snapchat, TikTok, YouTube, of course I was there, and I still am. I loved it all so much that I turned it into a job. In 2018, I started my own company. From my little room at home to the first shared studio and finally our own spaces with amazing team members along the way. Today, we are based in the heart of Zurich, just minutes from the main station, still creating social content for some of Switzerland's biggest brands and events. And I still think that this tech is fascinating, but I also think we need to talk.
Ich möchte nur schnell einen Gedanken äußern zu diesem Thema. Wirklich ganz wichtig. Jetzt sagst du dir, okay, die Firmen, die unterstützen uns, weißt, die haben zwar alles Daten, aber die helfen uns ja im Alltag. Alexa zum Beispiel kann Zeug bestellen oder sagen, oder halt eben, du gibst die Location Preis, damit du kannst tracken, ob die Fitness on point ist oder nicht. Alles gut. Das ist jetzt dann so, 2019, wo all die Daten von Firmen gespeichert werden, wo momentan unter einer Demokratie leben. Was ist, wenn die politische Situation sich ändert? Du weißt nicht, was in 20 Jahren passiert.
And then there's a thought experiment. What if we don't live in a democracy anymore? It's not even 100 years ago where we had, Nazis around the block, man. Like, it's not even 100, not a century has passed. So I said in the podcast, like, what if the political situation changes in the future? Okay, so I wasn't thinking about 6 years later. But, here we are. What if that happens? What if the regime or whatever then in the future comes to these companies and says, I want to have all the data you have of our citizens, I want everything. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? Like, what if? All right. So this is like this snippet was all about. Okay, thanks. Back to the video. I've been raising these concerns for a while. And since then, things have only accelerated. The companies behind our favorite tools, their values and decisions are increasingly hard to trust. And the new players since the AI boom in 2022, not much better. We keep feeding these social media channels with our photos, our videos, our messages. They keep learning from us, from our likes, shares, comments, saves, and our watch time. They know exactly what we like to see and watch. We also keep feeding AI, but kind of a different way. We share with them sensitive company data, we share with them our finances, our thoughts, our insecurities. And it's not just the obvious platforms, Even Spotify, CapCut, WeTransfer, and other smaller apps, they have been quietly changing and updating their privacy policies over and over again. And I actually read this stuff. I see it as a part of my job. And the changes I've seen in the last 2 months, the most concerning I've seen so far. And at the same time, we are seeing new threats, new waves of threats, more computer viruses, more sophisticated attacks. And with AI writing code and mimicking our voices and even faces, the risks are growing really strong. Maybe it's because I'm a father now. These things hit just differently than they used to. So it's just not about tech anymore, I guess. It's about the world my kids will grow up in. And honestly, I hope one day they will look back and ask, what did my dad do during this time? And I'll be on the right side of history. That would be cool. And listen, I'm no coder, okay? I'm no lawyer. I'm just curious. I live in Switzerland. My company is based in Zurich, home to ETH, one of the world's leading AI research institutions, home to Google's largest office outside the US, home to IBM, Apple, Nvidia, OpenAI, and many, many more. Let's talk about the new wave of technology. Let's stay curious, let's stay informed. I'm not here to create panic, not at all. We don't need to reject technology, but we do need to ask better questions. Who benefits? Who's watching? Who do we trust? I'm Metin and I'm here to learn and maybe together with you. That would be really nice. All right, see you in the next video. Peace.